I think creativity is our most precious motor of action. It involves having dreams. It involves listening to yourself, which creates intuition, which creates improvisation, all those things without rules. And, you know, I am illustrating the subtitle of my book, The Perfect Crime, an artistic crime, to imagine, to create, to challenge yourself, to break the rules, is something that should be taught in school.
Now, obviously, did you catch that? But you weren't taught that in school, were you?
Well, I did not attend school. I was thrown out of 5 different schools before I was a teenager because five. Yeah, I counted them because basically I was not listening to the teacher. Well, good that you could count at least. Well, I was a magician, so under my desk I would practice the cards and the coins routine. I would not want to know about geography and history. I wanted to become a magician. Then later on, from the magic, I learned pickpocket. And the best people to pickpocket with were my teachers. So I will go, you know, and it's difficult, and the whole class is watching. And I will, I don't know how, but I will steal the watch of the teacher, and they'll throw me out, and of course, you know. But I gave it back, of course.
Of course, sure. That is, I guess that's implied. For you, the danger, the thrill of getting away with something like that.
Yes, there is an actual thrill about breaking the rules. And again, I'm not talking about the rules of society. I'm talking about artistic rules and creativity mostly. And you feel free when you invent, you know, in a wild way without rules, actually. Or you create your own rules of creativity.
You could have used this for evil, though, right? I mean, for taking the watch, putting it in your pocket, and just keep going, or robbing a bank, or whatever.
I must confess, I was walking a tightrope when I was a teenager. I did things that were really criminal, but not long enough to be a professional criminal and spend my life in jail. I realized as an artist that I could take those things that I love to do and put them on stage or inspire people instead of, you know, doing those wrong actions that I think you're referring to.
And it's safe to say probably a criminal gets a better paycheck.
Oh, yeah.
Unless they get caught.
No, the crime doesn't pay, though, remember
crime doesn't pay, oh, right, yeah. And then that point where you say, okay, I want this to be what I do for the rest of my life. Is there a point where you think of the monetization of how do I do this? How do I walk across this tightrope? How do I do this and be able to sustain my life and be able to do the next thing?
Never. I am a ridiculous man that never thought about time and money and power and social status and fame and all that. I just drove my galloping horse in a direction that I wanted, changing directions if I needed to, but I never thought of practicality. I sometimes had so much money that I give it away. I sometimes, very often, have no money at all, and I am a little survivor rat that can survive in any situation. I am also a lock picker, so it helps to open doors sometimes. But anyway, no, all those things that are wise and established are not part of my life. So I am probably a very unsmart person.
Well, hardly. But you have to, I think, there comes a confidence, doesn't there, that you have to have, that when you do something like that, the creativity kicks in and you say, I want to do this. But then you have to have the confidence and the skill to be able to do that.
Yes, but you acquire those not with recipes and not with planning, although I planned for years for the World Trade Center, but that was a different planning. But creativity, I think, again, it should be like a volcano. It should emerge from you, and then you wake up and you want to build a barn, like I did one day, except the barn that I wanted to build was with 18th century tools and methods. Out of what? Out of probably reading an article about post and beam being revived in America. Or anyway, so that's an example I use to say my life changed that day because as if I had not enough actions to do in my miserably short day. Now I'm going to become a barn builder, and it took me 9 years to build a barn with the 18th century tools and methods. And then we had a barn raising. I'm mentioning that because this is an impulse. So, of course, once you have the impulse, you need to do your homework. You need to spend millions of hours either rehearsing or acquiring the right tools, in my example of building something. But those projects, those dreams of mine were not mental achievement. They woke me up in the middle of the night. I love to be awake in the middle of the night. That's, because your imagination is a different one when you're alive and awake, and when you're asleep, it's more mysterious project that comes to you, and that's what happened.